How's it going, Vigilantes? Welcome back to a brand new Arrow video, and today's video is a very interesting one because we've got a bunch of promotional stills for the series finale of Arrow. As some of you may know, we've got the episode 9, Green Arrow and the Canaries, kind of backdoor pilot episode, even though that series hasn't been ordered like the Superman and Lois series, even though that hasn't even had its pilot kind of thing. Yeah, we're still waiting on news for that, but that episode will be tonight. Just to let you know, I've done a trailer breakdown on that. I will leave that in the cards above, but these photos showcase and highlight some very interesting things for the series finale that I would love to hear your thoughts on in the comments down below, because yeah, this video is going to require quite a bit of theoretical kind of breakdown and speculation from the audience. So yeah, I kind of need your help with this one, but it's also just kind of crazy within itself that Arrow is just ending now. You know, I guess there's going to be a trailer for the series finale that's going to make a lot more sense, hopefully, out of these promotional photos, but then that will be it. That will quite literally be it. But before we get into this, guys, go ahead and like this video if you do go on to enjoy it. Why not? And if you want to see more videos like this and all kind of comic book nerdy stuff, subscribe. But let's get straight into this with the promotional photo number 1, and that is with Diggle, Renee, and Dinah in the bunker, seemingly in the bunker. There's not too much to say about this other than, you know, just my general thoughts on this episode. I think there's going to be a whole bunch of things going on, whether that's, you know, action scenes, throwing as much as they can at the wall and seeing what sticks. Not in a bad way, but just kind of giving all the greatest hits that they can, even though I don't think, you know, Slade Wilson, I know a lot of fans want him to be involved, but you know, there's going to be returning characters, and oh my god, there's some photos in this breakdown that we'll get to that definitely showcase that. But yeah, as far as the bunker, you know, I'm expecting sentimental moments between characters. This next one's interesting because we see Sara Lance here. Now, the interesting part about this photo is the background, you could argue, is the Queen Mansion, and if that's the case, then that's kind of confusing, because obviously a lot of these promotional photos that you'll see are set in present day. So unless this is a flashback, is the Queen Mansion no longer burned? Because, you know, that kind of leads into the whole theory that is circulating around a little bit, that with Oliver in Crisis on Infinite Earths, in kind of Spectre mode, if you guys remember, when he was dying, he kind of, you know, would have shaped the multiverse to be a few certain ways that he would like, at least, on his way out. And I guess you could argue he would have made some changes, but the kind of issue I have with that theory is that it would change quite a lot of things in Arrow's history. Like, the timeline would be very different leading up to, I don't know, that's the weird way of how time works. This may not make any sense to you with how I'm explaining it right now, but yeah, if the Queen Mansion was never burned, sure, that might not have massive ripple effects, but you know, with certain dead characters returning, and as if they never died in the first place. Let's say that was one of Oliver's last wishes before he went out, and that new universe was born with like Earth Prime. We have the Titans Earth, we have the Doom Patrol Earth, we have that Green Lantern Earth, we have the Kingdom Come Superman Earth. You know, there's a few Earths out there, but if these larger changes were made, it's just weird to think of certain things happening in previous seasons that may have never happened now. But that will make more sense when we get to it. Now, the next photo is of, lo and behold, Felicity. Now, as some of you may or may not know, you should have known that Emily Bett Rickards, aka Felicity, was returning for the series finale, and it looks like she's reacting to something. Now, the interesting thing here is that Sarah's in the exact same getup, the exact same clothing as what she was, I'm guessing, or what we can only assume to maybe be the Queen Mansion. It might not be, but it may very well be. This is what this video is about. It's just speculation, of course. But yeah, Felicity's like looking at something. She seems kind of like proud or keen, or like kind of anxious in a happy way. That makes no sense, but you get what I mean. Diggle's looking at her, kind of smiling at her reaction, and there's another photo paired with this, well, there's another 2 photos paired with this moment, where she's kind of taken back a bit. So it does make me think, and this is in the bunker as well, especially paired with other photos that the CW have released here for this episode, because we know that Mia is basically in present day, just jumping to that last photo, that she might just be looking at her daughter like, holy crap, that's my daughter. She looks kind of just like me, and what Oliver would be, I guess. She's got my blonde hair. I mean, you know, it's going to be like a weird moment, obviously, with everyone. We've seen everyone's reactions to Mia, William, and everyone coming back, but it's going to be, I'm quite excited to see Felicity's reaction to her own, you know, daughter being grown up. Everyone, including even Oliver, obviously, as we've seen on the shows, has seen Mia, but not Felicity. So that's going to be really cool to see. The interesting thing though is how are they kind of getting back in time? Does this, obviously this is going to take place after the Green Arrow and Canaries episode because that's tonight's episode. So after Laurel and Dinah go to the future with Mia, give her memories back of Crisis, because it's pretty evident in the Green Arrow and Canaries episode tonight that Mia isn't aware of everything she's kind of been through with her father already. They then return to present day. Felicity's there. A whole bunch of changes are present, such as freaking Moira Queen and other characters returning. It is crazy, and this is the scene of them reuniting. Kind of reuniting. I mean, where's baby Mia at this moment? I'm guessing she's just chilling in the bunker. Or maybe Felicity's got a babysitter. I don't know. This is what I mean. It's pretty wild. Now, next up in the line of promotional photos, guys, is some very interesting ones. We've got 2 photos that relate to each other, and that is of Roy Harper with Thea Queen. But it also gives us or makes me kind of anticipate a little bit of action in this episode, which kind of takes me back to what I said with potentially throwing kind of many things at the wall and seeing what sticks. So there's going to be a bunch of feelsy things, some of Arrow's greatest kind of, not necessarily greatest hits, because that was what like the earlier season was with those early episodes, but what I mean is through those characters returning, such as Moira Queen and others that we'll get to, but also maybe throw a bit of action in there. Why not have a little bit of a problem in Star City? And you know, the reason why I say that is because, you know, we see Thea here with some arrows on her back, and we see Roy Harper suited up. So it'd be pretty cool if that in this episode, amongst all of the honoring of Oliver we're getting, that we get that one, you know, you would have to think in the last episode of Arrow there's going to be a little bit of typical, you know, vigilante action. That would be awesome. And the interesting thing about this as well is that we see Roy Harper, if you guys remember, when his arm, you know, went bye-bye, so to speak, I believe he said towards the end of that episode that Argus would hook him up with another one. And lo and behold, we see him here with his, you know, replacement arm. It doesn't look, I guess, as good as the one as that Oliver had in that Legends episode. In fact, it just literally looks like his arm is in a sock, and it's got like a hospital mechanical brace around it, where in fact this would really be like a whole replacement arm. But hey, I'm not picking on that. It doesn't look as great as Oliver's, but hey, he's got a replacement arm. It would be actually really sweet to see that in action, see if he could like power punch anybody with Thea, I don't know, in the streets of Star City, but we'll have to wait and see. And then guys, in the next photo we get a bunch of Team Arrow, pretty much most of Team Arrow around in the bunker looking at these computer screens. Now the interesting part about this photo as well is that Ragman has returned in this shot, alongside of course like Lila, Laurel, but I'm guessing that they're gathered around all of these computers, kind of like in combination to the action shots of Roy and Thea. Maybe this ties into what I was just saying, that they're trying to isolate or like locate maybe a certain I don't know, criminal in the city. That's quite a leap, but you know, it would be pretty cool, as I said, if we get to see that action, and this is them kind of all working together to bring them down, given that classical cliche Arrow episodic action to an episode. But it's also interesting to note that Mia isn't in this shot, so this could be before Mia returns, this could be like after, and Mia's somewhere else. But hey, let's get to the most interesting photos of this breakdown, and that is of these seemingly funeral photos for Oliver. I think it's kind of obvious this is just honoring Oliver at a funeral, but the people attending is the very interesting thing, and that is that Moira Queen is there and Emiko Queen in this first shot with a younger William. The next shot we have an older, obviously, Mia with a younger Felicity, but also we have Barry Allen returning. We'll get to that in a second. It's just fascinating that Moira Queen is back with Emiko Queen. And this is, you would have to assume, all present day. Like, this is as of, you know, I mean, Roy's got his arm back. This is after that episode before Crisis where he loses his arm. Felicity's the same age, but Mia's back. So you have to think after the Green Arrow and the Canaries episode, she comes back. Obviously, we've been over the promo photo of where, I guess, Felicity reacts to seeing Mia for the first time. But yet, Moira Queen is back. And Emiko Queen. Now, obviously, the big theory is that Oliver had made some changes when he was dying in the Spectre godlike mode he was in when this universe was being created, that I guess certain members of his family would return. The only thing about that, I think that's cool, but like in a timey-wimey way, it's just like, wouldn't that change? Like, if Slade never killed Moira Queen, then she's been there this whole time, theoretically. But like, or has she just returned in present day and she was missing all that time, but now she's just here as if she was there the whole time? That's the weird thing I find about this. I don't think, considering this is the final episode, we're meant to look into it that much. I think we're just kind of meant to assume, oh, it works and Oliver did this maybe in his godlike mode. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking into it a bit further, like how though? Has she been there the whole time now? I know Crisis though, that's a good excuse. Like Crisis did make some monumental, pivotal changes that is a good excuse for something like this happening. I don't think it's like a Supergirl situation or Batwoman situation where you might have a doppelganger like Moira Queen. That just wouldn't be nearly as sentimental. It's like, oh, Earth 99, Moira Queen's coming to honor Earth Sun's funeral. No, it's not gonna happen. So you have to think that they're resurrected somehow. They've been there the whole time. Emiko Queen may have never have gone dark. She may have been brought back into the Queen family this whole time. But as I said, it's like, how does this work? Maybe I'm not meant to question it, because I was about to say, how does this work? Like, wouldn't that have made changes on the timeline if Emiko was there, Moira Queen never died, but yet Crisis happened? So all of that happened, Crisis happened. That is a brilliant excuse as to why things didn't change along the way, because yeah, Crisis. I think that's the focal point. Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's the way to explain this. I'm not even gonna try question it anymore. I welcome you guys to do it in the comments down below, but you're probably going to get a headache from figuring it out. But either way, I'm not trying to say I'm displeased with it. It's awesome. If we get the Queen Mansion back, if we have Moira Queen back, which we do, Emiko Queen, that's really, really cool. Also, it just makes me question, what's Emiko Queen's role? Is she even a trained vigilante? Technically, she wouldn't be if she was introduced into the Queen family all that time ago. So yeah, it's just with the way Crisis has impacted things and Arrow's ending now, I can't talk. It's definitely made the jigsaw puzzle very weird. Like, you can't complete it, but yet you have a massive stamp over it saying Crisis. So in brackets, it works. Do you know what I mean? But of course, we have Barry Allen there. Of course, he would be there at the funeral of Oliver Queen. And yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see these characters interact with each other. I'm guessing why older William isn't there is because baby Mia, it is not so bad if older Mia turns up. Whereas if older William turns up at the funeral, I kind of feel bad for him. Like, he should be there, but, you know, William's like a teenager now, so it's not nearly as bad as it, you know, in terms of Mia turning up when she's just a baby in present day. But I think that is everything I've got to say about these promotional photos. I would love to hear your theories down in the comments below, of course, but I want to know another thing. I guess I'm going to close this video off. I don't think it's of the most importance to answer, but I definitely would kind of like it answered, because I think a lot of us expected it to when we first saw that scene. And the scene I'm on about is when Felicity in the future with the monitor, like, this is very interesting. It's like, did this just get low-key retconned? I don't know. Way in the future, she went into that paradise realm, dimension, whatever you want to call it, with the monitor to join Oliver. Do you think we're going to get that answered in this episode as to just a bit more clarity behind that? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I guess the monitor isn't around anymore, yet he was back then to take her in the future to be with her husband. And she said she's been waiting this whole time. I know I'm kind of bringing this up randomly. It's just something that I thought of because it's the last episode of Arrow, so why not answer that? That'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to see where the hell and what the hell Oliver is doing. Did he make a little pocket dimension for him to chill out in his dying breath as the Spectre, on top of making all these little adjustments of Moira Queen and Emiko coming back? What's going on with that? Is anyone else wondering that, or is it just me? I don't think I'm being nitpicky there. I just generally want to know what the heck that meant, or was that written in and when they were writing Arrow Season 8, they didn't really get around to like calculating that in. I don't know. I'm going to stop that now, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know all your thoughts on everything we discussed in today's video down in the comments below. I will have my Green Arrow and the Canaries episode review out tomorrow. Looking forward to that one. Will it be good? Will it be bad? We're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, guys, if you want to stay a little bit more up to date with me. Join my Discord server if you want to talk about this a little bit further. I'll be speculating about that there after this video. And that is everything. So yeah, click on my last couple of videos here. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you vigilantes in the next video. Goodbye.